It's the one thing over and above our core service delivery that we would fight tooth and nail to have. We can see the benefits every day with the children and young people for what they get out of it.
For us, music therapy is totally invaluable. It's the one thing that Philip gets so much out of. He really enjoys his time with Jenny. There's always a response from him, and yet we would spend time doing other things with him, you know, massaging him or talking to him, and we get very little back. When he comes to music, that's completely different.
I love the idea that Cian's doing music therapy because Cian and music go together. Cian is disabled and there's lots of things that he can't do and lots of sources of pleasure that are denied to him. And it's wonderful. He's got a smile to die for. And when he plays music is played that he enjoys and he participates, he sings along and he smiles. And it's a heart-stopping moment. And you live for moments like that, and you can access moments like that through music.
Music appeals to children, especially small children. It is fun, it is interactive, they can enjoy, they can involve themselves as much as they want or as little as they want as they gradually build up their confidence.
Music therapy has a wide range of applications. The leading provider, the Northern Ireland Music Therapy Trust, was established in 1990 by neurologist Dr. Michael Swallow. So who is the therapy suitable for and how does it work?
Music therapy is not something you come in and you do to a person, and it's not, I'm going to have you playing the piano efficiently in 10 sessions. It's about coming in and finding out what does the person need. How can I use music to help you communicate a wee bit better, to help you express what is really, really difficult to express or what you might not have the words for.
Hello Emma, how are you? What a gorgeous smile we have today.
A very versatile therapy, something that appeals to all of us, and so therefore that is why it can be used in education, in health, in social care, in the community, with other voluntary sector organisations and in the justice system.
You don't have to be musical or have musical skill at all to benefit from music therapy. It's not about being able to play instruments nicely or to be able to play instruments even in a certain standard way. It's much broader than that. This morning I was in a session and she was vocalising with me, and I was playing the guitar and she was occasionally reaching to the guitar. It's just about, again, that ability to reach in and to make that connection. All of us respond to music in different ways, and that's why it's such a useful tool.
Will you eat a Coke and something?
While music therapy is sometimes delivered one-to-one, it's often ideal as a group activity.
Okay, let's take two. Are we ready? This is the one.
Here in North Belfast, therapist Julie Allen works with a group of people with learning disabilities. There's plenty of anecdotal evidence that music therapy is effective, but what was needed was scientific confirmation. With the help of big lottery funding, researchers at Queen's University embarked on a unique study. The Music in Mind research looked at music therapy in children and adolescents with mental health problems.
The main finding in terms of positive results was, especially for adolescents, that music therapy increased their ability to communicate with others. Now, this is a really, I think, very important result for two reasons. First of all, because adolescents are really a very difficult population to try and get a therapy that will work for them. Secondly, it is such an important time in life to have reasonable communication skills. You know, you're getting towards a job, you're getting towards leaving school, you're maybe starting out with your first romantic liaisons. All of those formative things are beginning to happen. So the issue of managing to improve their communication, which we demonstrated that there was a moderate improvement of communication there, was, I think, very important. There's been a lot of research in music therapy, but a lot of it's very small and very impressionistic and qualitative. So talking to people about how they feel about it and everything. Now, I don't want in any way to denigrate that type of research, but When you're talking about making decisions about whether a certain therapy should be incorporated into mainstream health services, it's really important to have the evidence that comes behind a large trial. And this was the largest trial ever conducted in the world on this population and music therapy. So that was the significance of it. It was the first time for these kids that there was a trial of this size that could come out with such robust statistical results.
Philip has cerebral palsy and microcephaly and a form of epilepsy called Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which means he has a lot of seizures a lot of the time. He isn't able to walk or talk. He isn't able to see very well, but he can hear. I have a lovely disc that was made for me by Jenny in music therapy. The first minute of it, Philip doesn't do anything, and I was sitting thinking, why have I got this? And suddenly he started to respond, and as she sang, he sang. As she got higher, he got higher. As she got louder, he got louder. And everybody who hears it ends up in tears because it's such a response from a child that there's very little else from.
What about if we started off singing through a bit of the original song just to get an idea? Emma first came to music therapy as part of the intervention down at Beechcroft, the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Inpatient Unit. And she initially came thinking that she'd like to learn the guitar and realised very quickly that it hurt and maybe she could sing instead. So she would arrive on the day and we'd maybe pick songs that reflected the way she was feeling or songs that she identified with the lyrics, and we'd just sing. And we sang sometimes over an hour. We'd just be singing through a number of different songs that had certain connections for her.
Emma had struggled with depression and found it difficult to express her feelings, but music therapy enabled her to put them down on paper. She described her life in lyrics, set to the tune of the Beatles' Let It Be.
Living is the only way. This is the answer. Just wanna be free.
Emma now plans to train as a nurse to help others. Hers is one success story among many, thanks to the skill and dedication of the music therapists. Now the charity wants to reach out to more people than ever before, but there are obstacles to be overcome.
For me, one of the big challenges for this organisation is to tell people that we exist. And we exist for all of Northern Ireland, whether someone is experiencing mental health issues or whether it is a learning disability or a physical disability or indeed just personal health issues, that we exist to provide positive solutions, possibly to some of their problems or all of their problems.
Another challenge is money. To fulfil its ambitious plans for the future, the charity needs to attract supporters and corporate donors.
We have a small group, a fundraising group within the organisation, and we are looking now to raise funds to help fund anyone who can't afford a full set of therapy treatments. So we're looking at that. We're also looking at funding or help to fund families, siblings, children, partners of someone who has a condition and is receiving music therapy. So I suppose the analogy I would use is if someone had acquired a brain injury, and that tends to be quite a sudden traumatic experience. So we would self-fund some therapy into that person's family to help them with the trauma of a loved one whose outlook on life has changed and changed dramatically in a very quick period of time. So again, we will fundraise for musical instruments. We have a constant need of musical instruments, both the traditional musical instruments, but also those that harness technology and that are that appeal to people with sensory disability. So again, those don't come cheap, and that would be something that would really add to the value and to the work of the music therapist and to the sessions with the client.
Look into the future. I see nursing as a life for me. Make people's hurt stop, make them free. Going home.